Did you think it was going to turn out like this?
I had no idea that our pieces would turn out this freaking frockin' good. I had no idea.
Talk Parlor number 13's a Halloween special, starring Freddy Krueger, with your host, Adam and Jordan.
Welcome back to Talk Parlor number 13. I'm Adam.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're going to talk about last week's Roll for Art Flash Challenge.
Yes.
But first, our segment.
Recap.
That's right. In this segment, we will discuss last week's results and who won the challenge.
Yeah, so let's remind people what last week was.
Ooh, good question.
It was we had to do an everyday item, which we rolled on a wallet. We had to use Crayola crowns. We had to do an abstract style and a cosmic vibe color palette.
That's right. That's why I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember now.
And Adam was the winner of that challenge.
I was. I was quite impressed. Didn't know that I was going to come away with the win, but hey, I was excited too. And, you know, I think we both did an excellent job. I think we both put out excellent pieces. And, you know, like I said, come out with the win. So I was pretty happy. Second win for me. Other than that, Jordan's won all the rest of them. So
we drew on one of them.
Oh yeah, we did draw. I guess there's take two away because we had to tie on the one, and then the other one we just kind of donated to a group. So yeah. Anyway, so into this week, it was our first theme week.
Yes.
So, of course, as you all seen, the role for the theme week was a little bit different than what we've done in the past. So you want to kind of explain to them what we did and how we got to doing Freddy Krueger.
Yes. So with Halloween coming up and how the weeks fell, we decided that we would do a Halloween week special to present to everyone October 29th. And what we ended up doing was, for subject matter, I compiled a list of, all of your favorite horror figures. There was Freddy Krueger, Jason, Dracula, Frankenstein, I think was on there. Just a list of 20 individuals that we could do for Halloween theme week. We landed a 15 with Freddy Krueger, and then we already just verbally decided beforehand that we would just focus on realism and a black and white color palette for this. So then we went over for the medium, and we did alcohol markers.
The black and white color palette kind of come later in the week, though.
Yeah, we'll touch on that. that. So that's what we decided we would do. And what we are also doing for this theme week is we are doing a free giveaway. We'll touch on what happens with the giveaway next week in our recap, and see what kind of goes with that. For just for information purposes, with the giveaway later on this evening, people will have to vote, like, comment, and share our voting post for these Freddy Kruegers. We'll then compile a list of names of all those who did that, and we will roll the dice to see who wins a free print of our Freddy Krueger drawings.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Right,
I mean, first drawing, we've talked about it, about doing a drawing. So we've talked about kind of maybe selling some of our stuff, and we're like, let's do some drawings first, and then we'll kind of work our way into maybe selling later in the future, but not ruling anything off the table. So
it was perfect for a theme week. Let's do a giveaway for these pieces, and there's a lot of people that just really enjoy those those famous horror icons.
Well, you throw them in a frame and hang them up on your wall once a year. I mean,
right, exactly.
It's no different than going to, I don't even know where people get them, Amazon, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, but the holographic pictures in the frame.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a person in black and white, and then you walk by it and it turns into a skin.
Right, yeah.
I mean, this is something.
Love it.
This is something that I feel like goes right there next to it, you know? I mean, so I guess we could jump into
how'd you feel about us landing on Freddy Krueger?
I really wanted Wednesday.
Yeah.
I mean, I really did. Not that she's really captures the horror side of things, but
Wednesday from the Addams Family.
It just, there's something eerie and creepy about her, especially when you watch the new TV show.
Oh yeah.
It's just that's who I wanted to do. So when we got Freddy Krueger, I was like, man, honestly, I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. I really didn't. I was scared. I was very apprehensive, and a lot of that was because I have attempted a portrait before
Mhm.
when I was in high school, and it was okay. I'll give it an okay, like as in I like maybe C minus.
Right, right,
Okay, I mean by no means great. So I was a little apprehensive about having to do a portrait.
right.
So when you were like, "We're doing portrait. This is what we're gonna do. This is cool." I'm like, just jumping on board, like,
Okay.
okay, kind of shaking in my boots a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, I don't know how this is gonna go. I kind of feel like I want to crawl in a hole and
Right,
cry.
right.
But I mean, hey, that's why we're doing this
Yeah,
to get
exactly,
better.
exactly.
And if you can't do it well, hopefully in a few months you'll be able to do it well.
Yeah,
Um, because we're getting practice every week, and
and it shows.
it absolutely shows.
Mhm,
And when I think that's one of the most impressive things is when you can see your own progression from week to week.
mhm. I agree.
Um, how about you? How
Oh,
did you feel about doing Freddy Krueger?
well, I remember I had even mentioned to you beforehand whenever we were just talking about doing a Halloween week special, and I had even mentioned like, "Oh, doing a Freddy Krueger would be so cool." Then we rolled Freddy Krueger, and I was like, "Oh man, this is kind of scary. This is okay."
I I will
The
say I will say this, and I didn't mean to interrupt you,
you're
but
fine.
um, we did play around with the dice a little bit,
Yeah, we did. We did.
and it was kind of funny because the nat 20
Mhm.
was like
Dealer's choice.
dealer's choice. So meaning if we rolled a nat 20, then Jordan could have picked who she wanted to do. I could have picked who I wanted to do, and we would have both been like in our own little worlds,
Yeah.
of happy feelings, right?
Yes.
So what I mean by we played around with the dice, we rolled Freddy and we write it
Twice.
down on the paper.
Yep. We
And
rolled him once,
yep,
and then we allowed ourselves those we allowed ourselves 3 rolls, right?
yep. But we took
And
the first
so
two.
yeah, we rolled Freddy Krueger twice,
Yep,
and then we rolled Hellraiser.
yep.
And then I was like,
You know
well,
what?
we have to do Freddy Krueger, you know?
Yeah.
And then I said, Adam, should we just roll one more time? Let's just see what
Yeah,
happens.
see what
And
happens.
yeah, he's like, no, no, we got to do Freddy, you know? And so I'm just messing around and I grab the dice and I roll it, lands on the nat 20.
Yep,
Yeah, him and
yep,
I both stood up in anger and dispute.
yep.
He went left, I went right. We just needed to not talk to each other for about 30 seconds. It was quite funny. Yeah,
It was. It was. So, like I said, that's how we wound up with Freddy Krueger.
yeah,
The dice obviously picked it, and we took it. But it was kind of funny just the way we were playing around with it. It's like, man, there's no choice. We have to do Freddy.
right,
But
right.
so you were a little bit intimidated by it then too, even though
I
you
was.
wanted to do it.
Yeah, I
That's
really
interesting.
was. I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun, but man, all right, this is gonna be fun. So then I was more so very intimidated by the alcohol markers because neither of us have used alcohol markers before, and that was like, okay, right on.
Well, that was also after waiting until Friday for the things to get here
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't go to the store. We just jumped
Yeah,
on the
just
old jungle
yeah,
and picked them
ordered a
up.
big
Yeah,
giant pack of them for $80.
I was so excited.
For $80.
Oh yeah, I was
For
highly excited.
$80.
Yeah,
I'm just playing. It was fun though. It
my
was
wife was not so excited.
right. I was gonna get those for you for Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't tell Brie how much they were. All right. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. I was pretty intimidated by it, but I was more intimidated by the alcohol markers. I was really hoping for graphite pencil. I was really hoping for
Hope for graphite
yeah
pencil for
every
ever.
week. Yep. Um, and then I was also kind of hoping for colored pencil as well.
Just so everybody knows, I was hoping for alcohol markers,
Yeah.
and if you couldn't figure out the excitement in the roll
Mhm.
video,
Oh
I
yeah,
was the guy in the background. I
yeah.
was like a little kid on Christmas morning.
Right. Right.
I've just watched so many people do so many fascinating things with them.
Mhm.
I've wanted to try them forever.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm so glad that we did. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that
Oh,
we did.
yeah.
Yep. So diving into the next part here, what research did you have to do to find that image and learn a little bit of Freddy Krueger?
Well, okay, so like I said, we started out in color,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
It was originally gonna be in color. And so I just jumped on Google and I was going through, I put in portrait of Freddy Krueger, and obviously we're doing portraits, so we're using reference photos,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
And it's just really down to what reference photo are you going to pick that you feel like you want to draw.
Yeah.
And so I found this really cool one. It wasn't it wasn't necessarily a realistic portrait
Mhm.
photo. It looked like something somebody had already drawn or created in maybe Photoshop or
Mhm.
something. It was just really cool. It had a really cool effect. It was color. Um, I was gonna have to really zoom in, pan in on him in order to just get his facial features and kind of leave out the artistic part of
Yeah,
it.
that was that like really
Yes.
graphic design
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Graphic design is a good term for that. But I felt like I could have made it work
Mhm.
in a portrait style, and it fit the parameters of being color. But I had also found this photo here,
Mhm.
who Bokev originally did, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I mean, the contrast in the photograph is just amazing,
Mhm.
and I just the textures, it was like you could feel the textures. It had that creepy essence about it. It had that I'm coming out of the darkness for you. I reside within your
Yeah.
dreams and I'm coming out of the darkness for you
Mhm.
and I'm going to get you.
Mhm.
And I everything about me fell in love with that photograph. So I called Jordan. I said, "Jordan," I said, "I got two photos."
Uh-huh.
I said, "I got a color one and I got a black and white one."
Yeah.
I said, "I really want to do the black and white one."
Yeah.
And Jordan says,
We're doing full color and
"Yeah,
na 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 na
I
na na
think we
na.
really need to just stick with color."
Mhm.
I was like, "Can I send them to you?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Sure, send them to me." I'm
Yeah.
like, so boom, boom, I send them to her. And she goes, "Yeah, I really feel like we need to stick with color."
Mhm.
And she was the one that suggested to me in my color photo that I really pan in on him,
Mhm.
get rid of all the really graphic design part of him, and really focus
Yeah.
on his facial features and
Because
whatnot
we're doing real,
because we're
you
doing
know.
realism. And so
Mm.
I was like, okay. I mean, I was a little bummed. I was like,
Right.
man, but I just want to come
Yeah.
black and white. You
Yeah.
won't love to
Right.
do black and white. you know.
Mhm.
So anyway,
Well,
a couple days go by.
yeah, bouncing off of that, I really started to look more at the how the alcohol markers are used. And what I did was is I took like all the colors that I would have used in my Freddy Krueger drawing. And I do that color. Oh, well that's intimidating. The next color, the next color, the next color. And then I had like 30 of these colors on this paper. And I'm
I didn't even
thinking,
talk to you about how you come up
oh
with
yeah,
this.
yeah. It was a time, that's for sure. And I am so intimidated, like just shaking in my socks looking at this. And I was like, we don't have time, you know. There's also a lot of stuff that went on in my week last week. You know, a very close family member had surgery. I was helping to take care of them, and I was just like, I don't have time to learn how to do color in these alcohol markers
So
right now. Yeah, Adam,
so
your
then
wish is
Adam
granted.
receives the greatest phone call
Yeah.
in the world. And I answer, I say, "Hey Jordan, what's up?" "Adam, ditch the colors. We're going black and
Yeah.
white."
I
And
said,
I'm like,
have
yes,
you
heck
started
yeah.
yet? No, I haven't had the chance to. Yeah, we're going black and white. We have to. We have to. And we still stack colors, you know?
Oh
But
yeah.
it was it was so much better to understand like how to do it and all that. So, bouncing off of that research, let's get into the design phase.
So I design phase, guys. I grid everything.
Mhm.
I mean, I can't hardly get away from gridding everything because I have it drives me absolutely nuts if my proportions are off. even just ever so slightly. You know, if I take my drawing and I set it up here, and I take my reference image and I set it right here, and I'm looking at the two, and if that nose line is just, I
Mhm.
mean, just it could be a 16th of an inch up,
Right.
or maybe it just curls in a 16th of an inch more,
Mhm.
but it's noticeable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
So when I do anything, I grid everything, and those lines just give me reference.
Mhm.
That's all they do. And so, to design it, it was just I really panned in on him,
Mhm.
you know, brought him forward, because in the original there's a lot more space around him.
Yeah.
So I've got him a little more forward than he is in the original. Um, and then, like I said, I just panned in on him. I put my grids down, put him under grid,
Mhm.
and got my outline in. Now, once I get my outline in and some of the more distinct features in, the
Mhm.
nose, the eyes, the mouth, part of the hand and the blades, then I erase the grid, and I go straight to doing everything else by freehand.
Yeah.
Laying in all the text, laying in all the peeled skin from the burn
Mhm.
marks, and little highlights here, little highlights there. And I might go in, like, if I know there's a big highlight here, then I just circle that area on my paper, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
lightly put in there LGHT, or
Nice.
light, just like right here. This is all negative space. There's no color here because I really
Mhm.
wanted to pull that white out. I wanted that
Right.
light to hit right there off that, because when the light hits off that, it's bounced off that blade.
Mhm.
So, this whole area, I just kind of drew a circle around here and wrote light in there.
Nice.
And that just kept me from even putting any color whatsoever in that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think it just really works so well. And I think that the space that's around him, like you mentioned before about how he feels like he's, approaching you in your dreams from out of the dark, like it truly shows. And with those strong highlights, it just emphasizes it so much better.
yeah. So it's kind of hard to design something that's already been done for you. I'd say
Right, yeah.
80% of it's already done for you. Yeah, you're gonna put your own spin on it,
Mhm.
because obviously I can't put the same texture in it. I'm not a Xerox copy machine.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't go in and put every single little piece of texture that was in the photograph that I was using as a reference image. But I can get pretty darn close. So, a lot of it was just kind of just going in and knowing where I wanted to put the darks, knowing where
Mhm.
I wanted to put the lights, knowing where I wanted heavy contrast, knowing where I wanted light contrast, um, and just kind of putting those things in there, and just lightly drawing them in with a pencil prior to ever picking up an alcohol marker.
Mhm.
Because to that point, I had only talked to Jordan about, because she had got hers done before I did. She worked all night on hers one night while she was at work, and um, so I kind of woke up and she was kind of telling me about it, and I'm not gonna lie, I was starting. The more she was talking to me about it, I was starting to get a little intimidated by the whole process. And then, it was just simply, I think the best thing for it was just put it on paper and kind of just go to town with it.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it was one of those situations, like, it's not going away.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
What about you as far as your design
Mm.
piece?
Oh, for my design phase, I also used a reference photo, and I kind of I want to start trying to grid stuff that I draw. I really like to try that out and just see what happens. Because I just look back and forth. Usually between my either my phone or my tablet. I like putting my tablet up because I can just set that up right next
And
to
that's
me.
such a wonderful
And
talent to be
mhm.
able to have.
Oh,
I
thank you
mean, it
so
is.
much.
It
Thanks.
absolutely is. I wish I could do it, but
I will say one thing that helps is learn anatomy because that's really, really helpful too. And even in my reference photo that I use, I kind of used a couple different of the same. Um, I fixed it a little bit because and one of them, his head was way too long, and I didn't like that, and so I had to
Okay.
fix some proportions on his head, and I feel like that made it look a million times better. Um, yeah, for my design phase, it was just really going back and forth between these few photos that I had of the same image and just laying down. I call it laying down my roadmap for everything. I do everything in a big rough sketch first. That way I can just kind of move through it quick, and then I go in on the finer areas and fix my shapes. Um, yeah, just do all that, and then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's
I listened to a couple, like, Freddy Krueger
oh, did you?
documentaries during it as
Man,
well.
I
I
wanted
couldn't find the films anywhere. I had to rent them, and
oh, really?
yeah, they
I
were
didn't
all on
even
stuff that I'm not subscribed to, and
I didn't even look. I thought the thought crossed my mind, but
yeah,
it was
it's
kinda like
actually
one of them situations where I was like, I don't have time. I need to
yeah,
focus because,
yeah,
as you know, I was under a lot of stress trying to
right,
get this done, and
right,
I was afraid I wasn't gonna get it done. I was
yeah.
just complaining to Jordan about it the whole time. I'm like,
And I'm like, "You got it, Adam, just cook. Just go in there and get it done."
yeah, we like to say marinate,
Yeah,
you
let 'em
know, let it
marinate.
marinate,
Yeah,
let it cook,
right.
and I was just in that mind space of
Yeah, I
this is
was,
not gonna happen. This is horrible. This everything is going wrong, and you know, I made a major mistake.
mm,
I had started drawing this
mhm.
and forgot to pull the image forward.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So I had already had him completely sketched out and then had to trash it and start all over again.
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
so mad. I was so mad. I was on the phone with Jordan. I'm like, oh my God, you're not going to believe what just happened. She goes,
Yeah.
what? I'm like, I got to start over. She's like, no, you don't.
No
You can
way.
do it. You can fix it. And I'm like, no, there's no
Like,
fixing
yeah,
this.
he's like, "I actually can't." But thankfully, you were only in it, like, 45 minutes, you
I
know, and
was. It was still
yeah,
frustrating though.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much about all for my design
It
phase, and
is.
I will say also, listening to that Freddy Krueger documentary, I learned he is a much darker figure because I've seen the films. You know, we've all a lot of us have seen the films.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the new one that was made because that one was terrible.
I have
But the
not seen the new
classic
one.
ones, don't watch it. Don't waste your time. Just like, you know, one of my favorite Halloween films, and it's kind of like a guilty pleasure, is watching Freddy versus Jason. I love that stupid film. I don't mind watching it every once in a little while, you know?
Could you
Very
imagine what it would be like if they went back and just remade Freddy today with
wow.
the
It would
technology that we
either be
have?
awesome or it would be terrible, you know?
Because I mean, you go back then, and
Yeah.
maybe that's what makes those films is
It is what
you go
makes it,
back
yeah.
then and you watch it, and it's like, man, this is some
Right.
of the cheesiest
The
acting.
cheesiest acting and some of just like everything is so organic though with its effects. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I feel like that's what makes it special. You know, have you watched John Carpenter's The Thing?
Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh. That was during like when horror films were all about like that meltingness and
You act
all
like I
that
have a lot of
jazz.
time to watch TV.
That's fair. That's fair. But anyways, he is a much darker character than what I remember
Yeah,
watching as.
you
I
were
mean,
telling me some of the stuff, and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. I don't think it's appropriate for us to talk about it here. You want to learn about Freddy Krueger? Go learn about Freddy Krueger. I think we'd get in trouble if we actually talked about what type of character he is.
yeah,
A PDF file, if you will.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay,
You know,
I got what you're stepping in.
right, right. Yeah, but let's go ahead and move on. So we've started this new thing called our artist statements. And Adam, you want to start?
Yeah. So, my artist statement is inspired by the work of Bokev's "A Nightmare on Elm Street" portrait. This piece reminds Freddy Krueger. Through my own lens, using alcohol markers, I wanted to capture the razor thin edge between the shadow and light, the instant when terror becomes mesmerizing, by emphasizing stark contrast and fine detail in the burn contrast. And the glove, I aim to make the piece feel like a moment pulled straight from a nightmare. Even when working from a reference, my goal was to channel Freddy's energy and presence in a way that felt personal. A study of darkness, power, and things that haunt our imagination.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Things just gotta be organic sometimes, and we laugh at our
we do.
stuff.
We
Yeah.
do. But that's what makes it fun.
Exactly.
You
That's what
know?
makes it fun. You should check out our bloopers video that we put up on Facebook
That
and
was freaking
Instagram.
hilarious.
That was so funny. Locked in freedom. It was a good one. It was a good one.
Stop. Start over.
Right.
Why? Had to
So
burp.
it's great. So with
How about yours, Jordan? What's yours?
yeah, so with mine, I really focus on Freddy's glare, and it's inspired from one of the most iconic images of Freddy Krueger. And it's featured, this image specifically is featured in a Screen Rants article called "Every Freddy Krueger Appearance Ranked Worst to Best." And so I used alcohol markers, and I really aimed to recreate the eerie atmosphere and the sinister confidence in his expression, the sharp contrast and layered tones, emphasizing his burned skin. And I really wanted to capture that metallicness of his glove, and just put in, like, really focus on the unsettling moment where nightmare in this photo becomes reality. Like, it's the Freddy glare. He's glaring at you. He's ready to come for you, and pretty interesting.
Yeah. Um. What What do you like about this?
Everything, absolutely everything.
Did you think it was going to turn out like this?
I had no idea that our pieces would turn out this freaking frockin' good. I had no idea. I believe that this is the most photorealistic portrait I've ever drawn in my life, and I've drawn quite a few portraits.
A lot of
I
portraits.
really like drawing portraits. It's what I started out drawing.
The one
What?
of your friend is just phenomenal.
Thank you very, very much.
But what I will say is,
I think he
as
does it
much
good.
as that has meaning to it,
Correct.
this trumps that
So
tenfold.
much. Yes, yes.
Tenfold.
Rest in peace to my friend, but brother, this image is it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Maybe that's something you could do sometime, is maybe redo that one in alcohol markers.
I
It
think
would
that's a
be
great idea.
interesting.
Yeah,
I
it
think it
would.
would be
It
interesting.
would. I absolutely love everything about this. I hmm, there's nothing that I dislike about any of it. I had no clue that I would fall so much in love with alcohol markers. And it was a big time learning curve. We had to learn how to stack everything on top of each other. Starting with, for me, since we mentioned that, like, I kind of got the little bit of a head start on this. I think I started Sunday night. Is
Hmm.
that right? So I was at work, and it was a pretty chill night. And I brought my markers with me, and I brought my sketchbook, and I just kind of went to town in the couple hours that I had that were my downtime. And I started with the claw first, the knife hands, the glove, and I just kind of dove right into it. And I started with the lightest color first, and it was porcelain. And then I just stacked and stacked and stacked and stacked and stacked. And by the time that I had called Adam, it was in the morning, about 6 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the glove and the shirt done. And I was like, Adam, I've got to talk to you. Like, call me as soon as you're up. And he calls me, and I shoot him a photo image of what I had so far. And he's just like, wow.
Yeah, I about fell out of my chair.
Yeah.
Lie. I
Yeah.
was like, there's just no way I'm going to compete with this. I mean, none whatsoever. And I had that thought in my mind the entire day that I was freaking driving a truck.
Oh
That
no,
there
man.
is no freaking way I'm going to be able to compete with this, knowing that, like I said, I had attempted that one portrait in high school, and it was okay. I
Mhm.
mean, and here I am. I'm going to have to compete with what Jordan was showing me, and I'm just like, I legitimately was freaking out.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. I was totally just. I mean, well, I
Isn't
mean,
it
everybody
crazy,
can
like,
defeat themselves.
right,
You
right.
know.
It is, like, even though this is such a friendly competition, I felt that way with the Medusa. Whenever you sent me that image, I'm like, "Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Right. I
Oh
mean,
my
it's the
gosh."
same concept. That feeling
It's
that you
still,
had was
yeah,
the feeling I had all day long.
right. It's still a competition. Even though we both love it and we're so friendly with our competition, we freaking love each other. It's like, it's still a competition. We still do have that competitive
Yeah, like
drive in us.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I had that in my thought process the whole time, that the after she had showed me that, I'm like, man, there's no way No way at all.
dude. The
And
Yeah.
I can't. There's nothing that I dislike about this. Um, it is the one and only photorealistic portrait I've ever done in my life, and it turned out
Amazing.
phenomenal.
Yes.
They both turned out phenomenal. Um, I honestly can sit here and say I don't know how I did it
Mhm.
because it's still a bit scary to me that I did do it.
I know, isn't that wild? It's so wild.
It is.
You did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There were parts of it that were very intimidating,
Mhm.
but it's kind of like we said earlier. You just let it marinate. You let it cook,
Yeah.
and you almost get in this zone.
Mhm.
And once you hit that zone, once you're there, everything else just kind of disappears. It's you, your markers,
Yep.
and that piece of paper,
Yep.
and it is the most interesting moment for those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever you really get to devote to it,
Yeah.
because everything else just kind of just disappears.
Yep.
And I recommend that if for me it's in the evening and night
Mhm.
that I do best. During the day is so chaotic.
Yeah.
For you, it's
My days are my night, though,
days are your
you know?
nights. Um, but it was wild. I just sat there and man, I it to be able to mimic something so closely
Mhm.
was wild
Yeah.
to me. I mean, it was just absolutely wild, and I
What I
cannot
really
believe that we were able to do this.
Mhm. In one
Mimic
day.
in one day. I
Yeah.
mean, I sent her a picture at 5:45,
Mhm.
and I had just had the outline and kinda like where my dark areas were gonna
Right.
be and where my light areas were gonna be, and 1 o'clock in the morning, I talked to her again, and it was done,
And I was at work and
and
I
she was
get
at
your
work.
photo and I was like, "Oh my gosh. Wow. Like, no way." Yeah.
Now, I had to listen to her as far as, um, you know, the best way to use the alcohol markers
Mhm.
because she had already gone down that road.
Yeah.
Um, because alcohol markers come with their own sets of challenges,
Mhm.
and it takes a minute to understand how they work. And it's something that we've talked about is once you put it on there, it doesn't necessarily stay in that point. It kind of
Mhm.
changes.
It does kinda change, and as it dries, it either gets lighter or it gets darker, and I think that depends on, like, how you layer it. Another thing that we did is we used a black colored pencil to just go in and kind of punch in those little bitty details.
Because the markers will bleed. You
Yes.
cannot
And bottom line is it's a marker. We're doing photorealism.
have to have those
I
fine
felt like
lines.
we had to make an artist decision where if we're doing photorealism, let's get real. We need to have that sharp edge, something in there that goes in and adds that fine line, that
Right,
little bit of detail
right.
that at this point I don't know how to capture with an alcohol marker. This is
I
both of our first times using alcohol markers. And
Maybe there's somebody out there that can, but with what I noticed on the way, like when you put that black down and the way it bleeds out, I don't know
Mhm.
how you could ever get a super fine line unless there's different types of markers out there
Right,
that have
yeah,
just like a super fine tip on them.
right.
That might be the only what that might be a different situation.
Yeah,
But for what we have,
yep.
you have to incorporate either a colored pencil or maybe a micron pen.
Yeah, and my carbon pen would just be too dark.
I don't know if it would be dark, but I don't think you could get the same shade.
Mhm. Right, right.
I think you would see the different shades in them.
I agree.
From one black just being slightly darker than the other, or vice versa, however it
Yeah.
might work out. Um, what is if you could pick one thing in your drawing that you like the most? What is it?
Oh, man. Honestly, Okay, I have 2 things.
Okay. Go
3
through 3
3
things.
things.
3 things.
3 things.
I like 3 things.
Alright.
Can we go 4? Maybe 4?
3 things. Okay, my first thing that really stands out to me is the Freddy Krueger sweater. Um, I don't know if I'll be able to actually capture this on the image or not, but the
I
stripes
hope
are
you
present.
can.
These stripes on the shirt are present, and they flow with the wrinkles in his shirt.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It is so amazing.
And it just it was such a good decision, and it was yeah, I laid it down, like, tactically, it was just really well and put in. It was
Yeah.
great.
Well, and like
Um
looking at it from this angle, I can see the different like
Mhm.
it's not flat. It's not a stripe straight
Yeah,
across. The way she did it is
ruffles.
yes,
Yep.
it actually has texture to it.
Yeah,
So it was very cool.
yeah.
And I couldn't see that in the picture that she sent it to me.
Mhm.
It wasn't until she showed up today and we pulled them out because it's the first thing we do as soon as she
Yeah,
gets here on Wednesdays is we both just like
yeah,
here they are,
yeah.
and then we oogle
I
and
made
google
it!
over it for like
Right.
15 minutes. But it was the
Yeah.
one thing I picked up on. I was like, man, that is just so awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 2.
Number 2 here is, his really, like, kind of that muscular burn in his cheek,
Okay.
which on a lot of his makeup, you can tell that they, like, really emphasize those spots quite a bit, and with that one, I just put just extra love into it, and I really enjoy that, and it just shows
Well, that
the
depth.
yeah, the depth that's in
Yeah.
there. This is a deep scar, and it's a deep burn. And then 3rd, his hat. His hat alone, I'd say probably has easily a good 30 layers of different colors in it because I wanted it to have such a smooth texture. I wanted it to look like Freddy Krueger's fedora, I wanted it to
Right.
have almost that felty, leatherish look to it, and it was just like just going over it over and over again, starting with porcelain. And then I don't think I put any black in it. I just went with the charcoal black.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, the sweater, that deep burn specifically right there, and then his hat. It was all really good decisions that on my end that I felt like I was like, okay, these are smart decisions to make for this piece,
I agree. Very smart
Yeah.
artistic decisions.
How about you? 3 things.
3 things. 1, the eye.
Yeah.
That left eye, I mean, just I love it.
That eye,
Um,
really quick, just brings it so much to life.
it does. It was wild. Because when I started on at work, I worked from here this way.
Mhm.
And then once I got this way, then I worked down.
Nice.
And kind of backwards of what you would do a tattoo.
Yeah.
But I felt the most comfortable doing it that way. Uh, but that eye, I went in real light,
Mhm.
layered my colors, and it was like I was looking at the reference image, and I mean, I just hit that sweet spot, and I was like, "That's it, it's done."
Let it cook.
Not doing anything else. The second thing, his mouth,
Yeah.
that snarl, that
Mhm.
iconic Freddy Krueger snarl.
Yes, 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 and that is one thing that I just love about yours so much is it captures that Freddy Krueger look. I think I've already said that a few times because it's so true. You look at that and it's just no doubt, no question, that is freaking frockin' Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Um, and then the third thing, I man, I am so torn on it from the nose to the hand, but I think I have to lean to the hand.
The
The
glove.
metallic look in the glove, I felt like I just really freaking nailed it with that.
It looks like metal.
Um, I mean, that's really about that. Those are the 3 things that I love the most about it. I mean, and like I said, the fact that I did this is still shocking to me.
It's so
And
awesome.
it's been done since what, Tuesday morning?
Monday.
Monday mo Monday
Monday
morning?
night.
Yeah, Monday
Monday
night. So
night.
early Tuesday morning. I got done
Mhm.
1 o'clock Tuesday in the morning,
Yeah.
Tuesday morning. So yeah, and then like I said, just to pick it up and see it, it's like, man, I drew that. I cannot believe that I drew that.
Yeah.
Even right now, it's just hard to believe.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what I was getting at about is, it's impressive to see our growth from week to week to week.
It is. It really is. Could you
And
imagine if this was our first challenge?
no,
I think we say that quite a bit. And we say that because it shows how much we have grown as artists. And this is what this is all about. You know, at the end of everything, there is a vision that we are focused on, that we have goals to meet. And, you know, this week specifically, we've had some people talk to us,
we have.
and
It's
it's
been
just
pretty
so
interesting.
cool. I was in the car, I was driving home, and Adam's telling me about his buddy that sits down with his family every Wednesday night, and him and his wife and his kids vote on what they like better, you know, who fit the parameters better. And I'm in the car and I'm like, Adam, I don't know if it's because it's raining outside, but that made me cry.
And I'm like, snap out of it.
Yeah, just how cool. And, you know, just thank you to everyone who has voted, who has, you know, talked about us, who's gotten our names out there, just whatever it is that you're doing. Just thank you so
Well,
much for all of the support, because it means so much to us and it drives us to keep on going.
it does. And I hope that more people, more of you guys do that. Sit down with your families and vote, because it's just a brief moment in time where everything else can stop
Mm-hmm.
and you can do something. It's small. It takes 5-10 minutes. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Get away from all the other crazy stuff that's happening in the world, and hey, look at this art, you know? And maybe it motivates you all to do art too. How cool would that be?
yeah,
You know? We love that. And we just want to
the fact
shatter
that
you guys in our love.
the fact that Jordan and I can spend hours on the phone every week from week to week stressing about these things. I mean,
Mhm.
legitimately stressing it.
Yeah.
It's not, I joke around about it, but it's really not a joke. I mean,
Is that more gray in your beard?
probably, we legit stress out about these things,
Yeah.
because like she said, we are still competitive by nature. Even though this is a friendly competition, we're still competitive by nature.
Right.
But we still want to give you guys the best possible piece of artwork that we're capable of producing.
Yes.
And so by us doing that and stressing out about it and be able to produce for you guys this artwork for you guys to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The enjoyment from you guys is what brings joy to us.
Yeah. It totally is.
And I think with that,
I think we've touched on everything this podcast, guys.
so guys, thanks for tuning in to Talk Parlor number 13, where we discuss how we went head to head and put our creations up for your guys' vote. And be sure to follow us on Facebook.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Parlor number 13, as well on Instagram, and follow us on all of your favorite podcasting platforms at Talk Parlor number 13. And yeah, subscribe and comment with your all's thoughts and let us know. If you're not following us on Facebook, or if you're just listening to this on a podcast, check out Facebook. That way you guys can get a close-up image of what we do, and check out our stuff that we put up every week.
Yeah. And as always, keep the creativity flowing. Let your inspiration soar. Together we create, we inspire, and we transform art into a journey. And we'll see you all at the next challenge. And wherever you're at,
Be safe.